Dan, guess what's in 6 weeks today? 6 weeks? 6 days today. Go again.
Well, 6 weeks will be Kendall calling, but in 6 days, it's
It is.
BBC Radio 1, big weekend. So I tried to do it like, you know how like the radio adverts, and they're like, it's amazing, it's great. Join us in Dundee for big. And that's the fucking Just Eat advert. You know, we got it. Just Eat.
But yeah, in 6 days, it's first festival. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
And we celebrated that first festival. That was segue with our first interview on the cast, episode 11, first interview.
Yeah.
Who is it? Do you don't know him? You don't know who the guy is, but little guy called amazing guy called Tom A. Smith.
Yeah.
So at the point of recording the intro, we haven't actually chatted to him yet.
By the way,
I'm sure he was
with your accent there, it sounded like Tommy Smith, but it's Tom A. Smith. But it was like you just went Tommy Smith.
He's been playing like gigs since he was like 10.
Fair play.
Under the name Tom Mouse Smith, but he changed it to A fairly recently. But yeah, he's playing at this festival. Big opportunity for him.
He's also just announced a tour as well. But
he's seen the length of the tour that he's just announced. Guys, if you want to see Tom A. Smith, you can see him whenever you want. But yeah, you'll hear the interview in like a second or two. But off the top of your head, not including the snuts, who are you most excited for at Radio 1's Big Weekend Dundee 2023?
1975, Piri and the Jonas Brothers.
Perfect. I'm going to say
Bems.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
Rudimental, if I can make it. The 1975 and Tom Grennan.
There we are.
And we'll have seen all those bands in 6 days, not weeks.
Right.
But yeah,
there we are. Well, enjoy the interview because I don't know who the guy is, so I didn't.
Yeah, I did this one myself, or I'm going to do it myself at the point of recording. But we're trying to. Basically, what's happening is Dan's flying up to Scotland for Big Weekend in the next 2 days, so I have to like bulk record all these so we can make it look as professional as possible.
Definitely 6 days time.
I had the same T-shirt on for 4 episodes, and my room's getting progressively darker as the night goes in.
Still, the new drop the lineup flags. If you do spot that at any festivals coming up, I'll definitely take it to Glasgow as well. Yeah. So hope you try and get it on the BBC.
I don't think we'll have stickers for Dundee. Actually, I got an email saying they're coming on the 31st.
That's annoying. But still, there'll be a download. So
I should have paid the extra. Well, I mean, to get like quicker delivery, it was going to cost 30 quid. We just don't have that.
You're
money.
Right there. What happened to your voice there? You went like,
what do you mean?
You just went quicker. And then you
I must have choked on my tea. To get quicker delivery, it was 30 quid extra. So
what?
You've got yourselves to blame, listeners, because you aren't giving us enough money.
Right, there we are. But yeah, big weekend. Can't wait. Gonna do a vlog for that, and just look out for more content on Drop the Lineup, all the socials, basically.
Sorted. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the interview.
Enjoy.
Dundee's always considered to be a kind of a hard man town. When I go on holiday in London, if anybody knows I'm from Dundee, they sort of give me the look of, oh, hard man.
Hi, hello everyone. We are here with the amazing Tom Smith. So how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I all good. It feels really awkward because we've literally just done this before we started recording. But
yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. So yeah. How you been up to much, mate?
It's actually quieting down a little bit in the last few months. It's been a pretty chaotic year and a half, but we're all getting ready for the next release and everything like that, and the busy summer we've got coming up. So it's but you know, we're always ticking away.
Yeah, man. So how has 2023 been for you so far, man?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been brilliant, really, really great. Last month, well, oh God, it's 2 months ago now. It's just going too quick as well, by the way. But in March time, I toured Germany with a band called the Cat Empire.
Yeah.
Played like 4,000 people every night in like Munich and that. So yeah, it's been a pretty wild year so far. Released a single as well. Got more music coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. So just on that single, would that have been Little Bits? It's called, yeah.
Yeah, little bit of time.
So I'm a massive fan of that one. When it came out, I saw the TikTok ad and recognised your name from it. It's an amazing tune, mate. How do you feel then, sort of getting that out of the world, and what's the sort of feedback been on that?
Oh, I mean, it's you know, so far it's been amazing. Really, really great. I mean, it's been a few months now. I think it was February time we put it out, and I think hands down it's been the best reception for one so far yet. I'm loving it, and going down live, it's been great too. You know, like when I wrote the song, it was just after I toured with a band called Gang of Youths last year. And I sat down and spoke with Dave, the lead singer, and he basically just told me his entire sort of like the way he does it whenever he goes and writes a song. And pretty much the day I got back from the tour, I put it into practice and started making it, and made little bits. It was called A Little Bit at the time, you know. But when I released it, I changed the title. But no, it's been amazing so far, and you know, we're just buzzing to get the next one out now as well.
Yeah. Class, man. So just tell us a bit about yourself then, mate, for folk that don't know. So you've obviously been involved in sort of music and been playing music for quite a while. So when did you start like sort of doing the singing and the songwriting and stuff?
Yeah, well, you know, music has been part of my life, my whole life. You know, it's since about the age of 4, I started getting guitar lessons. A couple of local legends and members of a band called Detroit Social Club, who were like a Newcastle-based band at the time. They did a bit like touring with Oasis and stuff like that at the time. Class. And they used to come around my house once a week, teach us guitar for 10 minutes, play footy for 10 minutes, and play FIFA for like half an hour, and drink my dad's drink. And you know, like that was just part of my routine every week. We'd do that and learn, you know, guitar, drums, bit of piano, bit of everything. And so it's always like been there, and it's always something that, you know, has been around me. My dad's a massive music fan, even though he'll tell you himself that he's got no musical ability whatsoever. But he loves his music, and he's absolutely obsessed with it. And you know, he's always putting records and playing tunes in the house. I started like, you know, playing live. My first gig actually was supporting that band, Detroit Social Club, when they did like a reunion gig for charity at the Clooney in Newcastle, which is pretty iconic venue up here. And I suppose down here for you.
Yeah, so, it would be, yeah.
But like it was sold out, absolutely rammed. It was like 250 people in there. Yeah. You know, as an 8-year-old for my first gig, that's more.
Well, you're only 8 for your first gig.
I was only 8.
That's mental. How big's the Clooney? Is it small?
It's like 250, 300 cap, I think. So it's a decent size room.
Was it a busy crowd for you? Because I can't imagine at 8. It must have been a bit mental.
Oh yeah, it was rammed, absolutely rammed. But no, I remember I was only on for like 15 minutes.
Oh, right.
And I remember hating every single second of it. Couldn't stand it. I was petrified. The guitar teacher, some of the pictures, it was just like I just wanted it to finish the whole thing. And in some of the pictures, you can see my guitar teacher, a lad called Chris. He just is squatting, sat underneath the keyboard at this corner of the stage, egging us on. But as soon as I got off though, I just knew that this is what I wanted to do, and that it was really amazing. And from there, I've not really looked back, to be honest.
Yeah. So have you, since sort of that, have you just been sort of constantly gigging and doing music and stuff like that since that gig?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, from then it was like busking, pub nights, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
I remember, obviously, I was a bit too young to have a pint, so I used to go to a place called Longhorns in Newcastle, and they'd give us a pulled pork sandwich instead of a pint every time I played. So I used to go back there every single week and play.
Yeah.
And then I started to get on a few festival bills. I was fortunate, you know, likes of, you know, Tim Burgess from the Charlatans. I did a cover of one of his songs. And he, you know, became really supportive of what I was doing and got me a few festival slots on his stages, like Kendall Corn and stuff like that.
Right,
like 12, 13. You know, Bondi, who used to come around my house and give us some guitar lessons sometimes as well. Then famously joined a band called Catfish and the Bottlemen. So nice then I started pretty much every time they played in Newcastle, I was like first on the bill. So one time we did Times Square in Newcastle, which is like 5,000 when I was 12. And so I mean it's just been part of everything I've done in my childhood, getting us ready for this, I suppose.
Was it always like sort of before? Was it always sort of like acoustic gigs before the band? When did the band sort of thing come into play?
So the band, though I'd done a couple of shows with like a band here and there, it it was always just easy to go around with my acoustic guitar and do it.
I can imagine.
Me drummer Fraser and me guitarist Dylan, they did a few shows with us. They played at Candle Calling once with us. But yeah, it was always just me and an acoustic guitar. But like the band thing is sort of, since I've been playing under the name Tom A. Smith, and like after COVID and after lockdown, the band thing is just like, I don't gig without a band now, really. Like, it's the sound that I make, it's the sound that's on the record. So, and it's so fun. It's so fun to play live with a band.
I think that added like a sort of maybe a level of maturity that your music might be missing, adding the band in and getting that really loud sort of rock song sound like.
Yeah. Well, it just gives you a bit more of an option, really, and like because with an acoustic guitar, though it can be great in the right setting, you put yourself on a big stage in a big place, it becomes 10 times harder. It's very easy to talk over and all that sort of stuff. So, and it was just, so we could get places going mental, I suppose, as well. We did Leeds Fest last year, and then we opened it actually, and on the Thursday night, the first thing on the whole weekend, and the only thing on at the time, and there was like 6,000 people rammed in this tent, mosh pits every song. It'd been dying for a day and a half. All been camping there since.
I think I was there. I wasn't at your set, but I went to the one the year before. It was Vistas that had the exact same slot as you. It was just carnage, man, because you've been there for a day. I think you've been there for a day and a half. You're just ready to get see a live band. So whoever's on the stage, you're ready to jump about for.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Nice one, man. So you're obviously no stranger then to like playing festivals and gigs and stuff. So next week, like this is the whole sort of interview's gonna be about, is we're at Big Weekend up in Dundee, Radio 1. You are playing the Future Soundstage, it's called. Or is it the one
I think so, yeah.
Introducing what something like that? I forgot
it's
the stage names.
one, I think. Introducing.
Yeah. But how you feeling about that? Do you like coming up to Scotland for gigs?
I love it. Love it. It's my favourite place. It really is. It's great. They're just like, it's just wild. Absolutely wild every time I play there. It's brilliant. And you got some great venues as well. I'm looking forward to this festival. It's the first time doing Big Weekend. I've heard so much about it for so many years, and the lineup was brilliant as well. So I'm buzzing for it. It's gonna be great. Really cool.
What have you ever been to Dundee before or played a gig there?
I haven't. No. That's, I'm quite lucky actually because I'm a Sunderland fan, and we could have made playoffs the other day.
I was seeing this. I've got a few mates from sort of your area that were telling me about the playoffs. I was keeping up to date with yesterday when we were recording.
And we unfortunately bottled it in the last game in the second leg. But the final would have been on the day of Big Weekend. So at least I don't have to be all sad that I'm missing the playoff final. But no, I'm buzzing for it. It's going to be great. I think it's my first introducing stage as well with the BBC. So like that for me is incredible. Putting the tips for 23 by Nick Roberts, who's like the Northeast, and introducing hosts, and it just, I don't know, it sort of feels real at that point. And that there's something behind and there's back in there. So I'm dead excited for it. I really am. I think it's gonna be great. So
you're obviously sort of bringing the whole band up as well, the whole shebang on that stage. So what can folk who are maybe thinking about coming to see you but aren't sure, how can you entice them in? What can they expect for your show?
Absolute carnage. That's what it is. It's absolutely wild now. I love it. It's I've been so lucky in the last year and a half to be able to perform alongside so many phenomenal people. In particular with Miles Kane, and seeing his way of performance and how he can do it, and as a band and myself, the way we've developed over the last year and a half, the live performance is, I think, the best part of it now. So it's definitely not one to miss. Yeah.
You've got a really sort of good day for it lineup wise. It's the day that I'm going up as well. So on the Saturday, and there's some, like the Snuts and like a bunch of other sort of rock bands. What other bands are you are actually sort of excited to maybe to try and catch if you get the chance to when you're up in Dundee?
I'm not sure. I don't know who's on my day.
Yeah,
I know the whole lineup, but I've not really looked at who's on my day. I should probably do that. The truth is, I'm going to get it up now, and I'll come back to it at the end of the interview.
Class, man.
End of the chat. And,
it will be. It's going to be an amazing day. I've never done a Big Weekend either, and only really qualified for tickets this year just because I live in Scotland, because of my postcode. So It's really cheap as well, mate.
Love it.
Like you can get there if it's like 30 quid a ticket for the lineup that it is. It's insane.
Wild.
The
Mad,
value
that's amazing,
the value for money you're getting.
Compared to other festivals, that's
That's really
unbelievable, isn't
good. So yeah, while you're looking at the lineup, we'll just maybe have a chat about the big tour you've just announced. You've just announced what I think is maybe the longest UK tour I've ever seen. If there's anywhere you want to see Tom A. Smith, you can. He's playing everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
So
definitely.
how are you feeling for that in November?
Oh, I'm buzzing for it. You know, like I've known about it for a few months now, and it's just been absolutely horrible not telling every single person you see, which I have pretty much, to be honest. But no, I'm buzzing for it because, you know, you look at some of the dates on there, in particular like Camden Assembly in London. It's not a venue I've played before, but heard so many amazing things about it. You know, the two Scotland dates, my first Scottish headline shows. Dates in Wales as well, and you know, the big ones for me, you know, Middlesbrough Empire, and also Fire Station in Sunderland, which is the biggest venue in Sunderland, as a final date of the tour.
What sort of capacity is Fire Station?
I think it's like 800.
Yeah,
900.
Okay,
there's not a lot of big venues in Sunderland, but
I've only been Sunderland once, and I went to what's your nightclub called? Sells the blue pints. Yeah, I went there. I went there once.
Was that Indie on Saturday?
Like £1 a drink. It was like
that's
crazy. But yeah, so that big Sunderland gig then, would that will obviously be your biggest headline in your sort of hometown then?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I played at Independent earlier on in the year, and we sold that, and it was a great show, a brilliant night. So yeah, this is going to be like sort of the last, you know, gig of the year really, and it's on like the 9th, 8th of December, and yeah, we're buzzing for it. And actually, it's going to be 10 years to the exact week of my first ever gig.
All right, class.
The first time I was ever on stage, which was that Clooney show. It's going to be 10 years that week or that fortnight.
That's crazy, man.
At least a month since I was first on stage. So I think it'll be pretty special in that regard as well. You
got sort of more music and stuff planned then on the lead up to the tour and the gigs?
Yeah. Well, I've got a new single coming out. Well, as we film this midnight, the 19th of May.
All right.
It's called Weirdo. You know, over the last sort of few months, we've had a group chat on WhatsApp that people who follow our music and are part of this can and are being supportive can join, and they can, you know, get to meet each other, and you know, there's about 300 people in this WhatsApp group now, and they're all, you know, talking away and chatting away all day, and the group chat's called Weirdos. Not to describe the people in there, but I like made it as like a sort of thing to maybe, you know, start the backing for this next single and start getting the excitement up for this next track, and you know, they're all loving the fact that they were part of it, and it's, you know, they're part of the team, and there's a real togetherness with it, and so I'm buzzing for this next single because I feel like it's the most, you know, one that's been looking forward to within the, I suppose you can say, the Tom A. Smith world. But no, it's going to be great. Obviously, I'm always writing, so I've got a SoundCloud link now with about 500 tunes on, which is
mental class.
So we're hoping there's another EP recorded and ready to go, so that should be in the next few months too. So there's going to be plenty.
Brilliant, man. What other sort of festival you doing over summer then, if folk maybe want to try and catch you if they're going to it? Do you?
Ooh,
it's like you're doing. Dan, who's you were announced for Glasgow, is that right?
Glastonbury, yeah.
Yeah, because the Dan who would usually be here, but he's flying up to Scotland just now. He said make sure you mention Glasgow because he's got a ticket, but I don't. So, have you been before?
Oh, I've been a few times. Yeah. I first went when I was 10, and managed to get a slot. I played Glastonbury when I was 10, and it was mad, that one, because it was like a slot opened up on one of those stages where you can just sign up on the day, but people get there so early and like grab at it, and that you just can't. But somebody dropped out, I think, and there was like a spot open, and I remember showing the people work behind the bar with videos of me playing guitar, and they're like, "Well, we can't really see the harm. Why not?" And it was like a tent for like 150, 200 people, and there was like 600, 700 people rammed in this tent while I was doing like covers of Beach Boys songs and all that. But no, I've been a few times, and I went last year. I played on stage with Billy Bragg, doing like a sort of like. There's 3 of us on stage, and we just took turns playing a song and having a chat. But to have our own big set this year, you know, the band are coming. We're going on the Wednesday. We're leaving on the Monday morning.
Yeah,
we're making it a whole week of it. Anyone who plays Glastonbury and doesn't do that is making a massive mistake. Obviously, unless you got other things booked. But like. I'm buzzing for it this year. The lineup's brilliant as well. Every single week they just seem to announce more artists.
Yeah, I've noticed that. They're always just announcing we whole lineups. You always forget how big the Glastonbury lineup actually is. Everyone's playing it basically. If you want to see a band, they're probably there at some point.
Yeah, I'm buzzing to see Wonder Horse. They got announced the other day. I absolutely love Wonder Horse and their new record. So it's class, that's top of my watch list.
Brilliant. Anyway, man, I think we'll just sort of wrap up there. So. I know that the set times aren't actually out for Big Weekend, but I think it'll be on we said the introducing stage at some point. So everyone make sure you're there to see.
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant, man. And you said your single's coming out as we record this tomorrow. Is that right? Your new single?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is going out on Sunday. This will be out now. So
it'll be out.
The song's out. Go and listen to it, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks very much again, Tom, mate, for jumping on, taking the time out, and we'll see you up in Dundee in a week or two.
Nice one. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.